Come on.
MacLaine straight in there. Cody, no problem. Oh! Warrior. Oh, we've lost Cody.
Hey guys, we're back and we got a brand new show on FOX-HULU, The Snake.
Yeah, this is a long hiatus we had, man. We have like, what, 4 or 5 weeks, something like that?
Yeah, it's been a bit. There's not really that many good shows going on, but we're giving this one a chance.
That's right.
What do we think?
It's starting off kind of slow, right? Like, in the previews, it looks like there's going to be some good competitions, but right now, so far, I mean, Josh didn't say this. We're doing the first 2 episodes right now, so episodes 1 and 2. So the first episode was pretty lame. Second episode has pretty good, had a decent competition as far as stuff they had to eat. So, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, this show's kind of like part Survivor, part
Fear Factor, kind of.
A little bit of Fear Factor. What's that show where they're trapped in the house?
Real World?
Oh my God.
No. Big Brother?
Yeah, part Big Brother.
Brother.
Real World.
My bad. Yeah.
And they're playing for $100,000.
Which ain't much.
On the not these days.
No, not to be eating the stuff they're eating and trapped in with bugs like that. No,
they make some comments like you could buy new friends like with $100,000. I don't know.
Maybe buy one new friend. Yeah.
Not this guy. No. He costs more than that, huh?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But there's about 15 players. It starts off they're all in crates in like a circle, and they come busting out. And it's kind of all walks of life for the most part.
You got the reality. You got the what the hell's it called? The chicks that get naked on TV. What was it on their OnlyFans? OnlyFans chick. You got freaking.
Gotta have OnlyFans person.
Yeah, you got like a.
Do you have to have that?
You got a cop. You got a detective. You got a poker player, right? You got a kid who runs his own nonprofit. Yeah,
it's a bunch of hot people playing dress up. I'm not even sure if they're actually.
You got a pastor. You got a pastor.
I'm not even sure if they're actually what they say they are. I think they went to like Spirit and they put on some outfits.
Right, but they are filming in Argentina. It looks pretty beautiful, man. It's a nice location they're in.
Yeah. So, who's your favorite so far? Anyone you're rooting for off the bat?
I gotta say, I think I'm not a huge fan of Kethryn, but I like her game so far. I like that she did a lot of research. Like she's even telling us all the research she did going into it.
I have a list of different manipulation strategies that I plan to bring to this game. Strategy number 37.
She's got strategies on her phone.
So I respect that. I respect Kethryn's game.
She's doing some research.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she overplays it sometimes.
Oh yeah,
if you ask
her fake
me.
tears and stuff. Yeah,
but.
It's going to catch up to her, though. So she lies so much. I don't know how she's going to keep track of them all. So
yeah, and we got a host, Jeffries. He's Australian.
Yeah.
These jokers thought he was British.
because he didn't sound too Australian. He sounded more British, but whatever. Whatever.
He's a pretty funny guy, though. He's like, he's like, you guys noticed he came in boxes. Was that necessary? Nah.
I mean,
It makes for good TV.
I've eaten a blooming onion or two, so I recognize that he was Australian.
Oh my goodness.
I spent 6 weeks in Australia, and he don't sound Australian to me. So.
But he asked for a volunteer, and the bounty hunter, like Mena, steps up.
Yeah, she did.
And they asked her why, and she says, because I'm the oldest one here.
Yep.
Yet the ex-con guy seemed to challenge that, but we never got to the bottom of it.
No, they never told us how old these people are.
Really know.
That's the thing, too. Like, a lot of the other shows will, like, show their name and their age. This show didn't do that, right?
That's true.
So,
but it does love showing their job.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
But I do think it's funny, is, like, the host, he looked at him, he has, like, white hair, so he's like, that guy might be older than you.
He's like, oh, thanks for calling me out.
Yeah,
man.
he's like, dang.
Yeah. So she has to pick 6 people who she thinks are the strongest competitors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I probably would have wanted that a little explained to me. I don't know if they do that on the sides. Like, am I picking people that are the strongest competitors I want on my team, or my strongest competition that I want to possibly eliminate?
I think they didn't explain it all on purpose.
Yeah.
I think that's all part of the game, right? So
that's kind of what I mean. I don't know that really would have mattered at that point, but
yeah. So what do you think about her picks?
I mean,
at this point, it's like we haven't seen anybody do anything yet.
Right.
So I mean,
She's
based off
judging books by their cover.
Yeah, exactly. Just right off the bat. Yeah. So I thought her picks were fine. I didn't see anything wrong with them, but
yeah,
kind of find out. Kind of bit her in the butt.
Well, they take those 6 people. I guess it's 7 counting Mena, I think.
Yeah, 7
and then
total.
they go off to dinner.
yeah, that's nice.
They look like nice dinner too, man.
Yeah. So, and then the rest of them, the remaining 8, go off and play the first competition.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And
What's in the box?
What's in the box? And this is the name of the game, the snake, right?
Yeah, I would have rather dinner. Yeah.
So I mean, maybe
This is a harmless snake.
yeah, it's like it's either a ball python or a
Yeah.
freaking boa constrictor, or one or
I
the other.
still would
and
have
it's-
rather dinner.
Yeah, so
I would not thrive on this show.
So those 7 are excluded, and they're now competing to see who's going to be the snake.
Yep.
And the snake gets to choose the first person that's safe, and then so on and so forth. The next person chooses the person until you're down to 2 people. Then the snake decides who to
I do like
eliminate.
that.
And I do like that too,
yeah.
because it puts the onus on everybody,
Yep.
right? But then the snake gets the final say. But at the same time, it's like, hey, if you really want to say that person, you could have just called them up there. So it's like you can't completely blame the snake for gets who voted out, because everybody had their opportunity to save somebody, right? So yeah, I do kind of like how they did that.
And I like this first competition. They stick their hand in. They each have a box. They stick their hand in it, and you either have a medallion
Yeah.
or a snake in there.
Yeah.
There's one medallion, so like all of these people have a snake except for one person.
And
Oh,
they
yeah.
go. What's also kind of cool is like they kind of go in order here, so you get to see everyone's reaction. There's a little bit of a bluffing game to this because after
Oh, yeah.
you stick your hand in your box, only you should know. And
Yep.
then they go in order again, and you can either keep your box or swap it with somebody
Yeah.
else.
Oh yeah. Now here's what I think. I mean, if it's me, I'm freaking acting like I'm scared as shit and freaking pulling my hand out no matter what. I mean, especially if I've got the medallion and the person that had it didn't do that, and I was like, I think all 8 people should have done that, because then you just don't know, right? Like if it had been me, that's what I'd have done.
You think all
But-
8 people? You think all 8 people are capable of doing that? Clearly, they're not.
Of what? Pulling their hand back out? Sure they are.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I
He's
guess.
saying always act like there's a
Oh,
snake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
always
I
after the
guess.
snake.
Okay.
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, I guess it depends, but I wait to kind of see where I am in line before I
Yeah.
I reveal my strategy.
Because like once
Yeah.
everybody finished, I said it's Kethryn. I said it's her for sure. And
Well, they showed everyone one at a time, and they even showed like what's in the box except for 2 people.
Right.
yep.
And then
Was it
what's
J-
his
was it
name?
Jake and Kethryn, I think.
Yep.
Was too. Yep.
Yeah, Jack.
Or Jack. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jack.
Yeah, Jack.
Jack. Well, because apparently we find out at the end of the game, Jack had he thought he had the medallion. He never felt anything.
Yeah.
So he just
stuck
assumed
his-
he had the medallion.
This snake was like against the
against the
side of
wall,
the
yeah.
box, so like when he put his hand in there, he just felt nothing.
Right.
I don't know why he thought he had the medallion. I guess because he didn't feel the snake.
Right. He's like, oh, must be I get the medallion because
He
it's nothing.
shows his hand moving around, so he's like, well, a snake clearly would have, I would have felt that.
Yeah,
so
but I
clearly
mean-
a medallion must have been somewhere in there. I didn't feel it. So
Yeah,
he
you
thought
saw
he
that
had
snake
it.
was like up against the side, crawling up
Yeah.
on the top section of the inside, and you're like, man, no wonder, because that dude just had no clue there was actually a snake in
Yeah.
his box.
So he was pretty convinced he had that medallion.
Yeah, and now the HR manager, I guess, like she decided to keep her box, kind of throwing people off to say like, well, I like what I got, so I'm going to
Yeah.
keep it.
Right,
And she, I
exactly.
think, was the only one to not switch.
Right.
Yeah. And you thought at first like maybe that's a smart decision, but in reality it's like no. I mean, I thought for a second maybe it was like no, it wasn't. You told us you'd have just switched.
It was Jordan,
Yeah.
and one person took theirs back, which was Kethryn.
Kethryn, yep.
So
And
it's
then
kind of interesting.
well, and then Kethryn flat out tells the freaking convict, look, dude, I've got it. Take it from me.
Yeah.
And he's like,
It was to
"Oh."
build trust, you
Uh-huh.
know.
Yep. And he's
Yeah.
like, nope.
And I thought that was a brilliant move by her.
Oh, it was totally.
And I totally believed her.
Yeah. Oh, so did I. Oh, I immediately thought she had it. Once I saw
Yeah.
the thing go down, I was like, she's got it. You know,
Because I
so-
think that's a smart move. You win either way. If they don't take your
Yep.
medallion, you get the medallion.
Yep.
If they do take it, you're like, I hooked
saved
you
me.
up.
Exactly.
Well, now,
Yep.
I thought she had it at that point, too, because I'm like, what would be the benefit of her doing that unless she thought he had it? Like, there's literally no benefit. If she knows she has a snake, what's the benefit?
Because right now, the only benefit of being the snake is you cannot get voted out that round, right? Really,
Yeah, you're
you know,
safe.
and you're picking. But at the same time, you get the bad choice of having to pick somebody at the end. You know, even though, like I said,
Yeah.
everybody kind of gets it.
Well, I'm
So,
saying, what
but-
was the benefit of her lying if she knew she had a snake? There's no. So when she said, "I have it, take it,"
Yeah.
that should have been a clue. Like she actually
Oh, yeah,
has it
yeah.
because there was literally no benefit to bluff about it.
No, and the benefit for like Josh said is number one, it would have gotten her out of making that last decision as a snake, and number two,
Yeah.
like, hey, I gave you the thing, now save me. He'd have been like, sure,
Yeah.
no problem. You know.
So I thought that was a brilliant move. And it's kind of
Absolutely.
funny because they show like the other people eating food and they're talking about the other people. And they point her out as kind of potentially being weak.
Uh-huh, exactly.
and, then
Yep.
and then they come back and they announce
she's
who the
like,
winner
ding,
is,
ding,
and
ding.
she's the one who won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
and now here's where the social game begins, and
The
people are
social game.
starting to make alliances. Yeah, the
Oh, yeah.
social game.
The social.
So, I mean, we see this on every show. It has it on
Yeah.
Survivor. You know,
Yeah, I mean, every one of these games, you have to have a strong social game to freaking make it, right?
So what's
just
the
have to.
strategy here, though? You can't
Make
just
friends.
have
Exactly.
you can't just have like one alliance with like 2 or 3 people, because you're constantly like, if you and I constantly choose each other, the 3 of each other, they're going to try to break the 3 of us up. You have to have like a group of 2 or 3 that also kind of links with another group of 2 or 3.
Kind of like, well, it's just like Derek had his 2 different group of people.
That's
right?
what the bros are doing. They're like, go
exactly.
latch on to somebody
Yeah.
else,
Exactly.
befriend them, but this is the
our
group.
core group,
Right.
exactly. With Kethryn, right? So,
Yeah, and I mean, the thing about this is people are just picking people and they don't actually know them. Maybe
Yeah.
later on there will be some conflicts of personalities and stuff like that.
Well, and that's kind of like where it relates to like Big Brother, right? Because that's what happens. People get in the house and they want to start an alliance, and then you're like, oh crap, I started an alliance with this person. That was not the person to start an alliance with.
And Cody the bull rider immediately latches on to Derek, and Derek's like, man, this guy's like annoying the shit out of me, but at the same time, he's loyal. So I'm like, I gotta keep
And we
him,
got the detective, the pastor, and the lawyer like kind of teamed up, and you're like,
Yeah.
that's kind of like a powerhouse as far as jobs, but you know, that starts to fall apart a little bit later on.
And then you have some of the, you get the potential showmances like brewing.
Yeah, well, the cop is like head over heels all over the boxer, like to where it's almost like freaking him out, man. He's like, man, this chick's like all over me.
She's
like, damn.
coming on strong.
Oh, hell yeah,
Kailee,
she
the
It's
is.
cop.
borderline harassment.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, can someone not leave me alone in a room with her? Like,
Yeah, she's overly flirty, and I think that's kind of a turnoff because it's like,
exactly.
man, I can't
Totally.
even trust you. You just seem like you
Right.
will talk to anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's coming out very strong.
Yeah.
And it's turning some people off more than turning them on.
yeah, Jack and MacLaine though.
Oh yeah, MacLaine's loving her some Jack, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she is the Indianapolis Colts cheerleader. And she's wearing the Indianapolis Colts colors, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
is.
she's got a nice little Colt necklace too.
Yeah.
The horseshoe.
Very good.
So, I mean, and you know, well, we'll talk about her in a minute, but yeah, some relationships are forming. Who knows if they're real or not, but it's a cutthroat kind of game at the same time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So now they have the saving ceremony. It's
saving.
like the elimination.
He's like,
tribal
we
council.
tried to make it sound nice,
Yeah.
but it's the same thing.
So how do we think how this played out?
So like I said, I enjoyed it. I like the way they did it. I like how everybody has a responsibility. Like you just saved somebody, right? So you're just as liable as anybody else for somebody going home in this, right? So I like how they did it that way.
Yeah, and I don't know what's up with Kethryn. She puts on like a show and cries.
big
I don't
time
know what that
crying.
was about, but
Yeah.
I guess trying to gain trust.
It's part of it's strategy number 32. Like
Yeah,
come
I
across
thought she went
weak
way
and-
overboard with it,
yeah.
you know, and I can't believe people didn't see it and weren't like,
Yeah.
dude, she's balling. She's like, it's just, well, I would have been like, huh?
She's showing too
but-
many personalities.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and some people just didn't even react. I don't know if they
Yeah.
believed it or not. They didn't really discuss it.
You
but-
had other people that are like throwing up little hearts and crap
Well,
like
I mean,
that to
is
her,
this
you know.
all
like-
happening over 1 day, 2 days? Like, how much time have they spent together at this
yeah,
point?
well, and
So-
we don't know that, right?
So you don't know how
I mean, you're
much.
assuming this is the first day, but you know,
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah, and she's talking to a lot of people, and she's like making up a lot of stuff at
Oh,
the
yeah.
same time. Like she's like, both my parents are cops too, but she's not very smooth.
And she's like,
I don't even know what rank he was.
my
And,
dad
like,
was a sergeant. My mom, she was a,
I don't
She
even
was
know.
something.
I don't remember what she was.
And then she's like, and then my dad became an ATF agent. And I was like,
right.
But then also she told the convict that she's got a lot of felons in her
Yeah, exactly.
family too. So she has, she adjusts the conversation to whoever she's talking to.
And that was like rule number 76 or something.
Yeah.
You know?
but see, here's the thing. I think you can lie, but you can't be telling people different things.
Right,
Like,
because
you
as
gotta
we-
tell one story. It's
Right.
got to be a lie. You can't be
I'm
telling 10
surprised she
different
hasn't
stories.
told,
Right, 'cause-
she hasn't told the pastor like how religious she is or something like
Well,
that.
because as we see later on, we'll talk about later, somebody else tries pulling something similar and you just completely call it out for it. People
Yeah.
are just like turned off by it, right?
Yeah, I
So-
mean, the felonies and the cop thing contradict each other. It's not even like,
Exactly.
I have 2 parents. Oh, I'm very religious. Like, because you could be all those things, right?
Right, of
But like
course.
this, it's like, what's going on here?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe, she's got a good side of the family and a bad side of the family,
Yeah,
So they do their thing, and it comes down to the cop, Kailee, and then the cheerleader, MacLaine.
yeah. And before it even comes down to this, when they're doing their socializing, Kethryn was sitting outside by the pool with the cop and told her, hey, girl, you're safe. I got you. Like, if anything happens here, I'm not sending you home. You're safe. So the cop's like, oh, I'm good to go, right? She's gonna choose me to stay here, and It's like, man.
She said it kind of casually, though. I didn't think she's
And
like,
here's-
hey, me and you were in this.
She basically told her that when they were sitting there, man, because they even showed the flashback to that just to show that, look, she told her she was safe.
But here's the deal. Here's the problem with saying something like that, especially at the beginning when you have all these people and you're down to these 2 people left. How do you know she didn't say that to the other one too?
Right. And
She
maybe
didn't
she did.
choose who's down at the last 2.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think she was trying to calm her down. She's like, "Don't worry, you're good."
Yeah.
And like, she wasn't like,
Yeah, I thought she was a little
let's pinky
casual.
swear this thing.
Yeah,
you know,
she wasn't
lock
like
it
you
in.
and me final 2.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm not. She wasn't basically. I'm not gunning for you.
She still told her, I'm not sending you home. She said it to her.
Well,
She's
she
like,
could
look,
have
I'm
said
not
that
sending
to
you
the other one too.
Maybe she did.
Yeah,
But
how did she know it was going to end up with those 2 at the last 2?
But as you see, she did send her home. But here's the funny thing. So, like, the cop's like, well, can I say something? And he's like, yeah. So immediately you're thinking, oh, she's going to tell her what happened. And then she's like, no. And she's like, oh, you guys just better watch each other's backs. So I'm like, what?
Well, maybe they
very anticlimactic.
Maybe they stopped. They said, pause. You better
Can't
not
say that.
reveal any strategy because that
Maybe.
changes the nature of the game. You could say something, but don't be revealing someone's game.
Maybe
here.
so.
I don't know. I feel like you can say, "Hey, this person."
No, I feel like if she said that person lied to me, this is exactly what she told me. Bye, guys. That would ruin part of. That would ruin
people do
someone's
that
strategy.
in reality, like Big Brother. They do that all the time.
Sometimes you can't talk at all, and that seems to be what they actually plan to do. And then she's like, "Can I talk?" And they're like,
And what was that like?
You have been sacrificed to the snake. Your crate awaits.
I can't say anything. I'd like to say something if I could.
The last show we just watched were the murderers. The murderers murder people. They're allowed to say stuff and call people out when they're leaving. They're like, hey, you're a freaking piece of crap. You lied and blah, blah, blah. Peace out, you know? So in that show, they're allowed to do it. So
no, there's definitely rules on
They
that
just
show
can't tell
too.
you what your
can
role
say.
is.
Yeah, you just can't say what your role is, yeah.
Because people, when they leave that show, know other people's roles, and no one has ever said that. So there are definitely rules of what you can say and what you can't say.
I feel like you could say if someone said they had your back.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not a big deal. But I think
think
they were
we're gonna
worried.
have to agree
I
to
think they were worried
disagree on
about she
this.
talked to this person, she talked to this person.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think they want
But-
that, honestly.
So anyway, she's gone.
Yeah, the cop is gone, and I thought she probably should have kept the cop because she had some rapport with her. I don't know if she has any rapport with the cheerleader, so why would you get rid of her?
Yeah, so you're only seen having much conversation with her, exactly. So
And if she thinks you guys got each other's back, maybe she'll save you next week.
and the thing is,
I
if
think
the
she thought the cop is a threat.
And here's the thing: if the cop's being annoying and people already don't like her, well then keep her because they're going to get rid of her eventually anyway. You might as well get rid of the freaking cheerleader first, right? So
Yeah, but then if they think you kept her because you're tied to her, then they might try. to get rid of
maybe
you.
I don't know, but
All right, so episode 2, it kicks off, and it's the unhappy hour.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, I don't do well with nasty tasting
Oh,
things.
dude.
I don't
And
think you'd
the-
I don't think you'd
the-
even try it. You'd walk up there and you'd be like, "All
Well,
right,
here's
you
the
win,
thing.
forfeit, thank you."
I don't want to drink half of it and fail, and
lose.
then I'm like,
Exactly.
what
And
the
lose.
hell I
That's what I
just
just
do?
do.
I wouldn't either.
Right, exactly.
So I'm
Dude.
either in it or I'm out. Like,
You just,
the
dude, you just, got, you just
in-between
pinch
doesn't
that
play
nose
well.
and go, man. Just freaking, just suck it
Yeah,
all
and
down, man.
Some people can do that better
yeah.
than others.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like some of the gagging and stuff on there, I was like, come on, man, is it really that bad? I was like,
Probably.
So I mean, well, I don't know because the final, I've eaten century eggs before, and they're not that bad.
Well, this
like-
is the drink.
So yeah, I know, but I'm saying there's stuff in there that people are like super gagging about, and I'm like, I've eaten that before, and it ain't actually that bad. So
I mean, they're like blending liver and
oh, yeah.
nasty
Yeah.
things.
and then he's
They
like, "What?
weren't
There's
meant to be
chunk." And then the host is like, "Oh, look at that's pretty chunky in there. Look at the chunks."
Yeah,
I'm just
blue
like,
cheese
oh man.
and vinegar.
Oh, dude, yeah.
No.
Yeah,
and it
Just
starts-
the smell alone would get me.
It starts off with the detective person versus the lawyer, and they both lose.
Mm-hmm, yep.
Yeah.
Because you got to do it in
Well,
a certain amount of
And
time.
the detective kept spitting it out too. I'm like, after the first spit out, he should have been eliminated.
yeah,
Boom, he
like
should have been done.
you can't just constantly be spitting
Yeah,
the drink out.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the bull rider guzzled.
Oh,
this
dude,
down.
he said,
he
"You know what?
acted
I
like
got
that
it."
was like a
Boom.
white Russian or something.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
He's like, more? Did I get a second one? Thank you.
I mean, there was no competition on that one, man. He just sucked it down. That was it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's 1v1, and then you go to like the finals kind of thing, except for those two people.
Was MacLaine the only female that went through, wasn't she?
I think she might have been the only one up there.
She may have been.
But Cody the Cowboy, he was up there too.
Yeah, Cody, he throws his back, but when he gets to the food competition, he's pretty weak on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, those
They don't like dairy.
those things don't taste great. Those eggs don't, but they're not that bad. Like they're not nothing like those people. I'm just like, how are people? I don't know. I just didn't get it, but
It's a dairy thing.
Well, it must be pretty bad because he downed the drink no problem,
Yeah, I
but
know,
couldn't
that's crazy.
even like deal with the eggs.
yeah. Yeah, it was weird.
I couldn't handle watching them eat it and seeing it in their teeth. I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just lingering in their mouth. Like, it's not like one of those things that you could just like swallow and then like be over it. It's like, it's up in there.
Yeah, I mean, the taste definitely lingers.
That's a taste that's going to keep coming back to you hours later.
This same one I'm probably winning.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd have sucked them things down, no problem. I've eaten century eggs, and they're not that bad.
So this is kind of interesting because Jack wins, and then the pastor guy's like in second place, and he's all celebrating. They put the medallion on Jack, and then the pastor's like, wait a minute.
Pastor Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob says, there's like chunks of food in my bucket over here.
And it's not mine.
Yeah, it must be Jack's.
So they take like a timeout, allegedly. Like they pause the
This
show.
makes no sense to me.
Go back to the camera.
They go back to the camera. They determine it wasn't Jacob that did it. So
Yeah,
they're
they
like-
said he never turned around,
So it can't be his.
He possibly couldn't have done
But did
it to
they?
the bucket.
Can you not
But-
determine that it wasn't Jack?
Evidently not. So.
Well, one person's on one side of him, and another person's on the other side.
Yeah.
Unless he like bent down and then
or unless,
disappeared
like, while
for,
he's
like, a
sticking it in
minute.
his mouth, he had a little left in his hand and just kind of, threw it in the bucket
Yeah.
behind him or something. I don't know. But
Maybe there was stuff in both buckets, and they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
who knows?
I don't know. That's weird.
So they do a redo
That's right.
after they've eaten the eggs or half attempted to eat the eggs.
Yeah.
Now, this time, Cody doesn't even bother. He's like, no, I'm done, man. I ain't even try.
Yeah, Cody doesn't
Yeah.
even attempt it. And now it comes down to those two again. But, Jack wins again.
Jack killed him, man. He was just sucking them eggs down.
Well, if I was Jack at that point, I would be so ticked. Like, I would either not attempt it or there's no way I'm not going to win that a second
Oh,
time.
yeah, no doubt.
Well, to me, the pastor had to win this because there's going to be a lot of heat the way
Yeah.
he called this out.
Exactly.
Now, what do you think about him calling this out? Is that smart of him?
No,
Is
I
that
didn't-
fair? What?
No.
I think he should have kept his damn mouth shut because as we see afterward, man, there's a lot of heat, like you said, that comes down on him for it.
But he's
So,
thinking maybe I should have won this thing. And I just toughed this nasty egg out. I thought I was going to win. This guy's cheating.
But he's on nobody's radar
Yeah.
at this point. People like him at this point.
Well, sort of.
the cowboy don't like
Yeah,
him.
exactly. Cody's like, he's the biggest snake in the grass.
Yeah. But, I mean, he's not rocking the boat at this point. He could have, made a note of it and then started talking about it
Right.
behind the scenes or whatever, or talk to even Jack about it after the fact. There's different ways he could have handled it, but, handling it like that really kind of, put it out there in the open.
When
I
the
don't know.
Lord speaks, you got to listen.
I mean, and he could even been like, Jack, I was pretty damn smooth, man, and tried to get in good with him.
Yeah.
Like, I saw what you did there. I was pretty smooth. I didn't call you out, but
Do you think Jack did it?
I don't know. I mean, they didn't. Yeah, it's weird because
The other guy next to him was the other guy who I guess it could be the other possible person to do it.
Right.
He was like, "This is BS."
Well, and I will
That's
say,
not.
Devonte
No,
made it awkward
fake
because
news.
Yeah.
he made it really awkward for
yeah,
him.
he did.
Yeah.
He did for sure.
And those two are friends, so I'm sure that was intentional.
Oh, of course it was.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. And Jack went through those eggs a second time, so.
Oh, he did.
I don't know. And if I'm the pastor, I'm like, there's going to be too much heat. I got to win this thing. And he still couldn't pull it off.
No, he couldn't,
Yeah.
man. Which killed me, dude. I'm like, just shut your damn
throw those
nostrils,
back,
close your
man.
nose, just throw them back. Exactly. Just suck them
Yeah.
down and swallow them, man.
So he's on the hot seat. Even his own team, he's kind of damaged goods to his own team at
Yeah,
this
exactly.
point.
Because even Derek told him so. Derek's like, look, dude, here's the situation, man. If I got to choose between you and Cody, I'm choosing Cody. So, and of course, Pastor's like, oh crap, but
So they get a new drop crate at the house, and out pops Christine.
yeah, that's right. And Cody was googly eyed, man. He was all about it, which I don't blame him. She was
He
gorgeous.
could barely
She
find
is
words.
gorgeous.
He was just like,
Yeah, it was awkward.
Yeah. People are like, dude, chill out. Like, holy crap, we get it.
he's
You
like,
like
my
her.
wife just came out of the box, guys.
Yeah, I'm like, it was.
Pastor, was this a gift from God?
He lost track of where he was, what game he's in. He's like,
Oh,
this is, it's like the heavens opened and there she was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Right,
now
exactly.
she's a teacher, and she probably is like, "Who is this guy?" I already got my number one fan over
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
But she's kind of doing the same thing Catherine's doing, and
Lying about.
I don't know if she's lying, but if someone's making waffles, she's like, "Oh, I love
Yeah.
waffles."
Yeah.
And if somebody's done something, she's done it. It's almost like the one-up game, right? Like, oh, I've done this, so I did it too, except I was on this, I was this kind of model, and I was this model, and then,
She can relate to everything
exactly.
somebody is talking about. Yeah.
And
Now,
people
I
are
don't
catching on to
know
it quick.
If that's her game or just her personality.
Right.
Maybe she's very relatable. Just very coincidental that
But
she
because it's
has
funny when
something
Jack
to
brought
talk
it
about.
up and he said it, like we didn't see all that yet, but then they showed us all the replays of them. We're like,
Yeah.
oh crap, she really is that way.
Yeah. So and what sucks about this is like Christine comes in and now people aren't happy because people don't like new people coming in, right?
No.
It's always
course.
awkward.
You just got rid of somebody.
Yeah.
And now they're thinking like either the pastor or Christine. One of those two got to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then when they go to the elimination thing, the
Just savior.
Yeah, this yeah.
Saving ceremony.
The saving-
saving ceremony.
Well, and before that, I mean, Jack brought up a great point. He's like, look, I'm the freaking snake, and this chick I haven't said one word to this chick. She
Yes.
does not come to talk to me,
Yeah.
nothing.
Well, it's
So,
like Big Brother. They get
know.
their own fancy room, and that can have private conversations. and all
Catherine
this
didn't
other
get
kind of
that the
stuff.
first time.
Nice. She
right.
got gypped
Yeah,
on
she
the
did.
room for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Christine is talking to some people, but
Not
apparently
him.
not
Not
the
the
snake,
snake.
who's
Yeah.
the most important person.
Right,
now.
exactly.
Yeah. So
But-
she's a big target for him.
Yeah, so you think she has a good chance of going home, but
Yeah.
then the host says, "Hey, since Christine's new, she gets a pass."
Because she didn't get to play the game to try to win the snake.
But I'm like,
so
why? I'm thinking like, why didn't you say that right off the bat? Why are you announcing it now
Yeah.
when we're?
They gotta
and
give
he's
you
like,
surprises, man.
yeah, expect the unexpected.
That's right, exactly.
Right? So obviously they did that intentionally.
Oh, of course.
And yeah, that would annoy me. And that throws off some people's game a little
Because
Yeah.
I mean, the producers got to know immediately, like this person coming in has like the worst advantage of anybody, right? Because they're going to be, nobody knows them, so they've got an easy chance of being voted out. So throwing that out at the last second there, just they knew would throw off anybody's game, right? Whoever
Yeah.
the snake was. So
Yeah, so some people now are iffy on Mena the bounty hunter because of the first week.
Yeah.
And then Jacob, like, he's on the crap list.
Oh,
right
yeah.
now. So as it's going down, the bros are looking out for the bros, and it's kind of going down as you expected. And then you get to the final.
You think
Yeah.
it's Derek who screws everything up.
yeah, because Derek has his two groups, right? He's got Jacob and the lawyer, and then he's got the cheerleader and who's in the other Cody, right? Cody and the cheerleader.
Yep.
So, he breaks from that. I guess he's got to choose between people from each of his groups. So he chooses the person nobody thought he would choose, and of course it pisses off the cheerleader, right? Rightfully so.
Well,
So-
he was in danger, so he knew
Right.
he had to save her.
So at this point, everyone's
Him.
kind of like gunning for Jacob. But the detective guy has like an epiphany and goes, wait a minute. Why
Yeah.
am I going to play into the strong group here and start getting rid of like sort of my own people?
Yeah.
And then his thought process is great because he's like, I know that if she is in the bottom two,
He's not gonna send
he
her
is
home.
not going to send her home. Period.
No.
So she's she's my other team, so it'll still save her. Either way, she's
Yeah.
saved. So I was like, that's pretty good
It
thought
hurt her
process.
feelings, though.
Yeah, well, it hurt her
It
feelings.
hurt
Yeah.
her feelings.
And
But
the
it-
detective said he's King Kong.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he was
but
And ultimately, it was his decision.
I'm the snake tonight because I made the decision for him. I'm saving two people. You're looking at King Kong. Come on, baby.
But, I'm sure he's going to sit down with her and explain it to her after. Look, damn well he wasn't going to send you home. I knew he wasn't going to send you home, so that's why, I saved Jacob. So.
But, of course, for the show purposes, he did apparently contemplate it because,
Yeah,
I
we
guess
did.
it could make him look bad. He's keeping his showmance there.
They could make him a target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the whole time, whenever he was down to that final pick, Jack I was like, if this dude sends her home, I was like, this dude's the man. I was like, he is totally, I was like, he is playing a smart game. He
Yeah.
is not letting anything get in the way of the freaking finish line.
Yeah.
But then he didn't. And I was like, he just
Here's
screwed
the
it
thing.
up.
I was a little nervous, but they show previews of Jack and the cheerleader making out. So
Yeah.
I knew, I was like, did they just kind of fool us? No, it hasn't happened yet. So therefore, she can't go home. So I already kind of knew based on the trailers to future episodes,
Yeah.
which
Right.
I hate when they do. They even show some people's faces playing competitions, and they haven't played the competition yet. So
Right.
you
So
know they're
there.
safe.
Yeah, exactly.
So that just drives me crazy when these shows do that.
Oh, yeah. I am looking forward to that cockroach episode that's coming up, I
But
guess.
here's the
I'm
deal.
not.
This is the second time in a row the cheerleader has been on the bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Save the cheerleader.
Save the
Save the cheerleader, that's right.
Save the cheerleader, save the world. Wait, hero, I don't understand.
That's right.
Now, and so the detective guy's feeling pretty good, but he just kind of betrayed
One of his teammates.
MacLaine, the cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's gotta do damage
his
control.
plan might not
And that-
actually be great.
No, but like you said, he's got to do damage control, and I'm sure he's already got in his head, look, I'm going to have to explain to her why I did that, but I think she'll probably buy it. So,
Yeah.
Here's what I would have done. I would have chose Jacob, if that's what you want to do. And when Jacob comes on, I'm like, you better save the cheerleader.
right. Well, no, but the reason he saved the other girl because she was part of their other. He saved the lawyer, who was part of their 3.
Yeah, I know,
thing.
but like you're
So-
trading one for another, like, and then the next person can get the lawyer. The cheerleader.
She was the last one, wasn't she?
Yeah, she
Oh,
was,
so
yeah,
she
she
come
was
down
it.
the end.
She was it.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Yeah, it was gonna end that way.
Exactly.
Yeah, the way it came down near the end, I guess he couldn't
Yeah.
have done that. So,
Exactly.
uh-oh.
So he already knew that Jacob was going to choose the lawyer girl, and he's like, then it'll be the cheerleader left with the bounty hunter, and he's like, and I know he'll choose a cheerleader, so boom, case closed. Done.
So Mena is out of here.
Yeah.
Maybe the oldest person. We don't know.
We'll never know.
So,
well, Mena was just very, you didn't see her doing a lot of socializing for the most part and a lot of team building, and I think that just kind of screwed her.
she was kind of off to her own, like when
Yeah.
people are doing that.
And she even said that she's like, maybe I should have been more, gone after some more teams right off the bat and stuff, and I didn't, so maybe that's what screwed me. But whatever.
Yeah, so that's the show, and I'm kind of liking it so far. I mean, it's different enough. I mean, we've seen these kind of things, bits and pieces from every show, but I like it, and like I like the competitions. I like how it plays out.
I like the elimination or saving ceremony. I like how it snakes back and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish the last two would like battle it out against each other, so like you have one last chance to do something.
That would be kind of cool.
And then that way, like it's in your own hands to a certain extent, instead of like a popularity contest or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, but then you can't. But then the snake doesn't choose the last person. So then the snake, really at that point, there's no benefit being a snake at all, except just being
Picking the first
picking the first person. Yeah,
Yeah,
But,
that's true. Yeah.
But the one thing we didn't mention though, man, was homeboy damn near puked on the freaking host's jacket, man.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome.
And
he spit all over that dude's jacket. He's like, "What the hell?" He's like, "You're eliminated."
And Kethryn has looked out for the ex-con guy like twice.
Yeah, she has.
Yeah. And
She knows she's got
initially-
him wrapped, man.
Yeah, but initially she said she didn't want to. She had a conversation with him saying she didn't want to make it look like they were really working together, but she's actually kind of making it pretty obvious.
But at this point, she knows like he is completely loyal to her. She's got him wrapped, so you might as well.
But he's got to start doing something.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, but the previews also say that people are starting to catch on to her lies.
Yeah, we did see some of that. Yeah.
Yeah,
how that plays
and
out.
Devonte is the one who kind of knew Kethryn had the thing in the box, the poker player.
Yeah.
'Cause
He
he's the one
stole
that
her
chose it.
box and she stole it back. But you would think he'd be pretty good about reading people's reaction and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
But,
See how that plays
We'll
out.
see. Well, there you have it, folks. That is episodes 1 and 2 of The Snake Down. This is a brand new show. We saw it pop up. We're like, dang, let's check this out. So, hey, we think you should too. Please do. And let us know what you think about it. We love talking with you. And hit that like and subscribe. We will check you guys in our next review.